So today's Devo is called Worship the Almighty. And I'm not going to repeat all the information that's there, but the idea that really stuck with me after reading through this devotional was, you are what you worship. You are what you worship. We often say, you are what you eat, but it's also true that you are what you worship. And I'm going to read to you Psalm 115, verses 4 through. It says, "But their idols are silver and gold, made by human hands. They have mouths, but cannot speak, eyes, but cannot see. They have ears, but they can't hear, noses, but cannot smell. They have hands, but cannot feel, and feet, but cannot walk. Nor can they utter a sound with their throats." Now, listen to verse 8. It says, "Those who make them will be like them, and so will all who trust in them." You see, you are what you worship. If you worship silver and gold, the US dollar, your bank account, you will become like what you worship. Become greedy. You'll become a person who's on a roller coaster, because sometimes money is there and life is good. And we have times where stock markets crash and inflation goes up, and now you're a ball of stress and anxiety. If that's what we're worshiping, that's what we become like. If we're worshiping power, we might become a person who begins to use people in life to get what we want and to get ahead. But if we worship the Lord, we become like him. He changes us into his image. And so I want you to think today, as we start this journey together, who do you worship? I know we're all ministry leaders here, and of course we know the right answer is God. But if we were to take that a layer deeper and examine, what does our time, the way we spend our time, what does that say about who we worship? The way we spend our money, what does that say about who we worship? If we were to ask our closest friends what they thought honestly about our life and about the decisions we've made and the way we've treated them, what would that say about who we worship? If we were to look at the depth of our obedience and our trust in the Lord, what would that say about who we worship? So the question is, who is God really to us in our everyday lives? Who we choose to worship defines our reality. And God desires all our heart. He desires undivided reign in our lives. He wants us to recognize him as Lord and be transformed in his image. And so as we set our heart and set our gaze upon him, we will become like him. So as we start the 21 days of prayer and fasting today, I don't know what you're facing. I don't know if the year has started off great for you, or maybe it started off with a lot of challenges. Maybe you've lost a loved one. Maybe you've got relationship problems. Maybe you're concerned about, finances for your ministry this year. Maybe you've lost a team member that has moved on to other things and you're trying to replace them. I don't know what it is that you're facing today, but our encouragement through this 21 days will be, let's bring that to the Lord. Let's bow before him. Let's set our gaze and set our hearts upon him during this time and trust him. And he will transform us into his image so that we can be people who invite others into that same transformation in their lives.